Hello and welcome everyone. In this OSPF series, now we will discuss about OSPF packets. So let's get started with the OSPF packets now. Before going with OSPF packets, we need to understand one more major point. Say, say for example, we have two different routers, and let's say this is my R1 and this is my R2. And if I want to configure the dynamic routing protocol here, so I can configure OSPF, EIGRP, any routing protocol. Let's say I have configured the OSPF itself. So when you configure OSPF, routers will go ahead and they will exchange the hello packet first. First routers will go ahead and they will exchange the hello packets. So once the hello packet will be exchanged, they come to know each other. Neighborship will be established. Later on, the routers will go for second phase, where if the routers known to each other, now routers will go ahead and they will exchange the update now, routing updates. And once the update is completed between the routers, now the third phase will be where the routers will go ahead and say acknowledgement to each other, say thanks to each other. So this is what the three different phases for every routing protocol, where the neighborship will be established by hello, and then routing updates will be done, and then the acknowledgement will take place. This is the normal scenario for the OSPF and EIGRP protocols. Now there is different type of OSPF packets will be used here, and they all will be used at these three different stages itself. So let us try and understand where exactly they are going to be used and what are the OSPF packets here. Okay, let's see that. So remember, this is a common scenario. So in OSPF we have the 5 different type of packets here, where the first packet is hello packet, only, and second packet is your database description. You call it as, in short, you call it as DBD or just DD packet. And LSR, link state request, this is LSU, link state update, and this is LSAC, link state acknowledgement. Okay, so hello packet is basically used between the routers to exchange the hello, and later on to form the neighborship and to maintain the neighborship. DBD packet is for update packet, LSR is to request the update, LSU is to update the neighbor router, to send the update to neighbor router, and LSAC is basically for the acknowledgement purpose. So this is what you have, the 5 different type of packets available in OSPF. Now we'll try to understand the use cases of each packet as well in detail now. So far, as we know, we have the 5 different type of packets. The use cases are also different for all. See, first of all, your hello packet. See, hello packet is responsible to perform these 3 different jobs. The first job is to discover the neighbor, and second is to form the neighbor relationship, and then keep alive mechanism, maintain the neighborship. Make sure in OSPF you will find 2 different type of neighbor. You can have just adjacent neighbor, and second you can have the fully adjacent neighbor. 2 type of neighbor. Adjacent in the sense, let's say some of the neighbors is just adjacent, in the sense we are just neighbor, no routing update will be exchanged here. In case of fully adjacent, we are neighbor, as well as we will go ahead and exchange the routing updates as well. That's what happens with fully adjacent. So remember, in OSPF 2 type of neighbors will be there, adjacent and fully adjacent. With adjacent, just neighbor, but we will not exchange routing update. Fully adjacent, where they are neighbor and they will exchange the routing updates as well. Now where this scenario of adjacent and fully adjacent will come, that we will discuss separately in the DR-BDR scenario in detailed. Let's move ahead. Next we have the DBD packet. Is basically, DBD packet is your database description. This is basically the update packet which is used to exchange the update packets. There is 2 type of DBD packets you will find. Make sure there is 2 type of DBD packet you will find. One packet where you will find null in the sense empty DBD packet, and second thing is your actual DBD packet, where you will find the actual update, I mean the routing informations will be present. So null, and second where you have the detailed information. Null is about empty DBD packet, and actual DBD packet which contains the data, that is in LSU, link state update. See, LSR is basically used to request for newer updated information from the neighbor. LSU is basically receiving the update information from neighbor. This is basically your update packet. Next you have LSAC. This is basically to say thanks to each other itself. In OSPF, your LSU packet and DBD packet, these both packets are reliable packet, and for reliable packet this LSAC will be used here. Say thanks to each other. Now when it comes to the OSPF hello, there is couple of more information to remember here. Since OSPF is going to form the neighbor relationship by using the OSPF hello packet itself, between these two routers you need to match some of the criteria, then only they will form the neighbor relationship to each other. So the very first point is area ID. If this router is configured with area 0, this router also must be configured with area 0. That's very important. Then only they will form the neighbor relationship. And after that, network ID and subnet mask. See, you configure some network ID here and subnet mask, network ID here and subnet mask. They must belongs to same network and subnet. Same network and subnet. Then only they will form the neighborship. Third criteria is to check your timers. Third criteria is to check your timers. Like if you have configured 10 second and 40 second, 10 second is hello and 40 second is wait, you must have configured 10 second hello packet and 40 second as dead interval here. If you have configured any authentication here, you must have configured the authentication this side as well. If there is authentication, there is no authentication, means no neighborship. Later on, stub area flag should match. Stub area flag should match. For example, in OSPF you will find two different type of area. One area is basically your standard area, another is a special area. Make sure by default all the areas are standard area. Later on you can convert your OSPF area as a special area if needed. So make sure if you have configured this router 1 as a standard area, it must be standard, where by default is a standard only. If you have configured this as a special, this also must have configured as a special here, because this stub area should match. That's very important. If you have configured a special area, in the sense this stub area flag should match to each other. So this is very important point. These are all the common points to remember, that OSPF will check these all the criteria to form the neighbor relationship. Now, if you want to verify the OSPF hello packets and all and timers, so you can use the commands like show IP protocols. You can see the log of your each and every hello by using the commands like terminal monitor and show IP, debug IP OSPF events. By using this, you will be able to view that all the informations. So far, this is putting the end of this particular chapter. In next chapter, I will show you the demo for this debug and everything. So that's it for this particular lecture, folks. Thank you so much. See you in the next lecture.